Welcome to Life Transformation Radio. This show is all about life transformations and our journey from where we were to why we are doing what we are doing today. We will discuss the hiccups, the roller coasters, and the blood, sweat, and tears that has been poured out while discovering our purpose. It is all about our transformations. Here is your host, Sean Douglas.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Season 5, Episode number 2, here in 2021. I am your host, Master Resilience Implementer, TEDx speaker, business positioning strategist, and international best-selling author, Sean Douglas. Life Transformation Radio is heard in over 90 countries. So I want to welcome all of our new listeners, and if it's whether it's your first time or you've been listening to us for some time, I just want to thank you for listening from wherever you are in this world. Life Transformation Radio is all about our transformation. Here, we tell the stories of why we're doing what we're doing, highlighting that transformational moment that changed our lives, and how we use it to then transform others and elevate their lives as well. You can listen to us live right here on the Blog Talk Radio Network, Tuesday through Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also join our Facebook group by searching Life Transformation Radio Community on Facebook and never miss an episode by subscribing to your favorite podcast platform. Life Transformation Radio can be heard on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Player FM, Radio Public, CastBox, Google Podcasts, Pandora, and a lot of other podcatchers. You can also search us on YouTube at Life Transformation Radio, and you can subscribe there as well. And if you'd like, leave us a rating and review to let us know what you think of the show. On Life Transformation Radio, my guests are entrepreneurs, speakers, business owners, coaches, podcasters, authors, amazing human beings creating an impact in the world around them. And my guest today has done exactly that. If you have any questions for any of the guests that I bring on the show during our live broadcast, Tuesday through Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, go ahead and give us a call at 657-383-1109. Again, the number is 657-383-1109. If you have any questions at all, give us a call and we'll answer them live right here on the show. Without further ado, please help me welcome my amazing guest, Marilyn Anderson. Marilyn, welcome to Life Transformation Radio.
Oh, it's great to be here, Sean. Thanks for inviting me.
I am super excited to have you on the show. Not only do you have amazing topics, but you have a witty sense of humor. You are super knowledgeable about the topics that you speak on, and you hold a conversation very well. So I'm excited to see what we unpack today on the show.
I feel the same way. Glad to be here.
Thank you. The title of this episode is How to Live Like a Millionaire When You're a Million Short with Marilyn Anderson. She's a best-selling author, speaker, and award-winning writer for film and television. On TV, she wrote for Murphy Brown, Fame, Sherman Oaks, Friday the 13th, the series, and Carol and Company, starring Carol Burnett. She wrote and produced the family film How to Beat a Bully, available on Amazon, iTunes, and other platforms. Marilyn is the author of the personal finance book, How to Live Like a Millionaire When You're a Million Short. It was featured in Forbes and USA Weekly and won an award at the Best Book on Saving Money and Living Well of the Year. Her humorous relationship book, Never Kiss a Frog, A Girl's Guide to Creatures from the Dating Swamp, is published in 10 countries. She's also co-authored the new mystery thriller, Dishonor Thy Father. Marilyn has also worked as an actress, a stand-up comic, and a travel and entertainment reporter. Her Facebook profile, Facebook page, her LinkedIn, and her website is right there in the show notes. Click on those, see what she has to offer on her social media, connect with her, send her a friend request, and let her know that you listened to this episode of Life Transformation Radio. Make sure you go to howtoliveleakamillionaire.com for more information. Marilyn, the first question that I have to ask, and I believe is the most important question you could ever ask, is why? Why do you do what you do?
Oh, well, that's an easy one for me to answer, Sean. I do things and I do everything I do in life because of, number one, passion. I have a passion for it. I'm a storyteller, and it's something I can't not do. I have to do it. And the other thing is creativity. I'm a very creative person, and so when I come up with stories or ideas, whether they be for film or a TV or books, it's just something that I have to do because of my passion, and my creativity is also what leads me to it. And then the third thing is I totally believe in living life to the fullest. So whatever I do, I try to enjoy the moment, no matter what the world is going through. You have to find ways to make every moment count. And I think now more than ever, we're all learning that. So I would say for passion, creativity, and living life to the fullest.
I love that. And just for clarification reasons, because you brought it up, and I'm always really curious about what their definition is. What does it mean to live life to the fullest?
It means just to enjoy every moment you can and to focus the positive, not the negative. We all have things that are difficult in life, but if you let them take over every moment, you can't enjoy anything. So I always believe, have a switch, or give yourself an hour a day to think about the bad thing or what's worrying you. But try to take advantage. And that's really what my book, How to Live Like a Millionaire When You're a Million Short, is. It has a lot of ways to save money and also to make money, but it also talks about, enjoying every moment. And it doesn't matter if you have $1 trillion in the bank or $5 in the bank. There are still ways to do things and enjoy life, even if you don't have a lot of money. And so that's what that book teaches people, actually, in addition to giving them amazing tips on all kinds of categories, from entertainment, shopping, travel. And now that we're in a pandemic, I tell people how to live like a millionaire when you're a million short, even when you're stuck at home.
I love it. Shout out to my buddy Tim Rode. He always talks about living full out. And it's different for everybody, but he always wants to live full out. He wants to play full out, just all out everything. And even he says, when you're up in the mountains, he lives in like the Sierra Mountains, and he says, man, I'm up in the mountains and I'm away from everybody, and I'm just looking down, and it's such a beautiful landscape. Taking in that moment, just recognizing the appreciation for beauty and excellence where you are in this moment. Could be your moment to play full out. Could be your moment to live full out. So thank you for sharing that definition. I think living fully or living to the fullest could be just every moment, like this moment that you and I are here right now, our undivided attention is on each other. For this moment, we are all in. We're open. We're vulnerable. After the show, whatever happens after that, if you have dinner, if you have more appointments or whatever, you go on another client call. When you're on that client call, you are open. You are vulnerable. You're fully engaged. You ever seen somebody try to have a conversation with you and they're looking around the room, right, and they're seeing what else is going on?
Well, I think so much of that, we see so much of that, like when things were open, you could be out with a friend or out at a club, and instead of enjoying the people that you're with, people are texting other people. And I often want to say, hey, if you want to text, then don't make a plan to be with me. Because if we go out together, whether it's a guy friend or a girlfriend or a sweetheart or whatever, put your attention on the people that you're with. And, texting is great if you're not engaged in another activity or with another person. And I think that's part of what being there in the moment means.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I have a friend, John Vroman, and he makes you feel, when you're talking to him, like you're the only person in the room. He never looks around. He's fixed on you. And I've watched him engage with other people, and he's looking at them, and he's understanding them, and he's hanging on every word. And I look, and I'm like, how amazing is that? And then, I watched Tom Brady on Sunday. I watched Tom Brady, and he goes up to the other quarterback, and the quarterback will say something to him, and he just stares at him. And he's hanging on every word, and he's looking at him, and he's nodding when he's talking, and it's like that fully committed moment that you're in. I think that is living to the fullest, living full out, just fully committing to every moment that comes your way. I think it's more enjoyable.
I have to tell you something about, I live in Hollywood, and I meet a lot of celebrities. I go to a lot of parties and events around the Oscars and the Emmys. And the one actor who I met who made me feel so much that way, I went to a screening of an Anthony Hopkins film. And when it was over, I had the opportunity to meet him. And, most people will just say hello or how do you do or whatever. But Anthony Hopkins took my hand, and I said, I'm Marilyn Anderson. And he took my hand and he shook it, and he looked me in the eye and he said, Marilyn Anderson, it is so nice to meet you. Thank you for coming to the film. Really appreciate. I mean, I'd never, met just in a cursory way a star like that who really took the time and energy to look me in the eye and repeat my name and be there with me. And I will always remember that moment. Another celeb that I met like that who was amazing was Jack Lemmon. I met Jack Lemmon when I was in New York, and I was doing some cabaret work. And Jack Lemmon came in, and he sat down at the piano in this club, and he started to play. And afterwards, I went up to him, and I told him, that my mom was coming into town and that we were going to see a play he was doing on Broadway, which was tribute. And he said to me, oh, Marilyn, will you bring your mother backstage after the show? I would love to meet her. And oh my gosh, like 2 weeks later, we went to the show tribute, and we went backstage, and Jack Lemmon hugged me, kissed me, and said hello to my mother. And he was just an amazing man. True story.
Wow. I love that. And those are examples that we can live by. Those are examples that how it made us feel. We now have the opportunity to go do that for somebody else who may say, man, Marilyn, when she talks to you, she's fully engaged. She's eye to eye with you. She's fully hanging on every word and feels like you're the only person in the room. And then that person will do it, and that person will do it, and then the next person will do it. And I feel like it's contagious. I feel like if we start doing that by example, other people follow. That's just my opinion.
I think it's a great way to be. And, these two people were really memorable to me. Like I said, I meet a lot of actors and stars at all different levels, be they A actors or B or C or small actors. And how you act, makes an impression on people when you meet them in person as the real person. And those two men really stood out to me as wonderful human beings.
Got it. So the show is all about our transformation and how it's changed our lives. So I asked you, what is a transformational moment that took place in your life, changed you, and put you on the path to what you're doing today?
Well, I can tell you exactly when it was, because I am a writer for TV and film and books, but that wasn't always my career. Actually, I went to school and got a couple degrees in biology and physiology, and I was working as a scientist, as a biomedical information specialist at the National Academy of Sciences. And I was doing theater on the side, at night I was doing regional theater or dinner theater. And then one day I said to myself about my job, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be a star. And so I quit my job, sold my car, sold my furniture, sold my boyfriend, didn't get much for him. And I moved to New York to become a star. And in New York, I got into a Broadway show a week after I got there. It only ran 8 performances, not because I wasn't wonderful, but it wasn't a great show. And then I did a stand-up for a while. I used to go on back-to-back with another guy you probably never heard of, Jerry Seinfeld. And then
Oh, my gosh.
Then one day I said I either had to take a vacation or get a job. So let's see, vacation or job. So I took a vacation and came out to Los Angeles, and it was out here that I started writing. And when I wrote my first script, everybody said, oh, you'll never get anybody to look at it. Nobody will be interested. And I got an agent right away. I got people interested. And so obviously my transformational moment was when I was working as a scientist, and I said, no, this isn't where I am supposed to be. And I left my job. And
Wow.
And now I'm doing something, like I said, that I have a passion for, and that enables me to use my creativity and live life to the fullest.
That's awesome. How was it being a stand-up comic in New York? It's got to be tough.
Well, it was, especially, when I was doing it. Now there are more women in the field, but when I first started,
Yep.
It was very hard being a woman in that field. But and the thing is, I had funny jokes, but I never really developed the persona. And as a comic, I think what's more important even than your material is your persona. And the truth is, I really enjoy telling stories more, and that's why when I moved out to LA, I started writing screenplays. And like I said, my first screenplay, I had a lot of interest and a lot of success, and then I started writing for other films and for TV. And I was on staff with a show that had Carol Burnett, Jeremy Piven, and Richard Kind in their first TV show. So, of course, I'm responsible for their careers because I wrote on the first show they ever did. But and that was hard being a woman, too, because I would be in the writer's room from 10 a.m. in the morning till 4 a.m. in the morning.
Jeez.
And it was like me and 10 guys and one other woman. And so it was 2 women and 10 guys. And in those days, there wasn't the Me Too. It was really hard being in that situation as a woman, because the room could get really raunchy, which was okay with me. I was one of the guys, but sometimes it went over the edge, as we say. So I've been through the trenches as far as that goes, because Hollywood was and still is really a male-dominated arena. And now that it's opening up more to women, now I have to deal with ageism, because it's also a youth-oriented. And I'm a little bit older than I was when I first moved here.
Yeah, I've heard ageism is I don't know, coming, I guess they say, more mainstream. It's more rampant. It's more like it's a thing. Like, it's officially a thing. Before it was like, oh, well, you're full of crap. No, it's not. It's just excuses. And people are starting to be like, no, that's a thing. Like, that's a for real thing. So,
well,
I've heard that a little bit more.
There's a lot of diversity and inclusion committees and rules, but they don't include ageism. They include disability. They include, races, whether it's Black Lives Matter or Hispanic or Asian, and women even is a category, but age is not, and it should be. And there was actually several years ago a big lawsuit. If writers are over 40, even though they're not on camera, they were considered dead. You couldn't get a job if you were over 40 in TV as a writer.
Wow.
Which is kind of weird, because you can still write beautifully, and it's not a matter of, if you look like a gorgeous woman anymore. It's if you can write, you can write. And what I loved is when Mel Brooks did his The Producers on Broadway.
Yeah.
He was not only old, but his partner was like 93 years old and still wrote this Tony Award-winning show. So we have to get ageism to be included in that diversity package. For
sure. Yeah, I agree. So you go through a transformation. You're a biologist. This is not what I want to do. Go to New York, have success. Go to LA, Hollywood, have success. And then you're starting to get the mix. And then now you're writing for Murphy Brown, which is a very funny show. Fame, Sherman Oaks, Friday the 13th, the series. Carol Burnett, that's amazing. I remember my grandparents and my mom talking about the Carol Burnett show and just the laughs and how funny and all that stuff.
That was a different show than the one I wrote on. I'm not that old, but
yeah, no. But I'm just saying, I just remember them talking about Carol Burnett, and and so I just think that's amazing. But how have you taken your transformational moment and really elevated everywhere you go? Was there one or two things that you just brought to that arena that was a man-dominated arena? Was there one or two things that you brought to the stage, because of that transformational moment?
Well, absolutely. I love providing laughter. I think laughter is one of the joys in life. And most of the things I write are comedy or they're humorous. And there's nothing, I don't think, that makes you feel better than when you're laughing. And I also think laughter unites people. In fact, the movie that I wrote, How to Beat a Bully, so many stories of bullying are sad, distressing, or unhappy. And we wanted to write a movie that had a theme of anti-bullying, but that could bring parents and kids smiles and laughter. And so this is actually kind of like a Home Alone kind of comedy, but an anti-bullying theme. So it's very different than other bullying stories that, kids will watch and be upset about or unhappy or, feel scared. This is a comedy which still tells you it's better to be friends than bullies, but it does it by giving you laughs and smiles, and it's a really cute film. So I do recommend it to your listeners. I'm
pretty sure, if it's on Amazon Prime, I'm pretty sure that my kids and my family, I'm pretty sure we saw it.
Uh-huh.
I'm fairly certain because it sounds familiar, How to Beat a Bully. I swear it sounds familiar. Is that the kid who has it's not the kid who has magical powers or something like that, or just does weird things?
It's actually about a boy who moves to a new town, and the bullies pick on him, and he goes to his dad and asks for advice, and his dad gives him lame advice. And then at night he's watching TV and he sees a Godfather kind of thing on TV. And so the next day when he goes to school, he tells the kids that his father is a hitman for the mob. And, of course, nobody believes him at first. But it turns out his father is an inept insurance salesman. And so he goes around telling people they need to take out a contract, and he can give them protection. And pretty soon the whole town thinks that he is a mobster. And so they start treating the kid with respect, and he becomes like a little godfather on the schoolyard. And then the real mobsters in town hear about it, and they think the dad is horning in on their territory, so they capture the dad. And then the kids and his newfound friends who used to be bullies, they have to help find the dad and get him from the mob. So it's, like I said, it's got a lot of twists and turns, and it's cute and it's funny, but it has an important theme about not being bullied.
We will have to definitely watch that. I'll ask the kid. I swear it was a bullying movie that we watched not long ago. I'll have to ask them if they watched it. If not, we'll definitely have to check that out.
How old are your kids?
That sounds pretty good. 17, 14, 6, and 3.
6-year-olds and the 14-year-olds would be great for it. It's talk about diversity. It's got actors in it from 8 to 80. And one of the kids who it was his first movie, but he's now become a big star on Disney shows. I think there was a show called Mech X or something, and a lot of the Disney shows. Pierce Joza, this was his first movie, and now he's gone on to bigger and better things. Yeah, but it's a fun movie.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. And I see that another way that you elevate the world around you is the book, How to Live Like a Millionaire When You're a Million Short, which I think is beyond creative and genius for a book title. It's just How to Live Like a Millionaire, and it sounds like How to Live Like a Millionaire Like, oh, cool, I'm going to learn how to be a millionaire. I'm learning how to get million. When you're a million short, you're like, I mean, that is clever. That is very, very clever.
Well, the thing, when you're a writer, sometimes you might make a chunk of money, but other times you could go weeks, months, or even years without making anything. And all my friends who had like steady jobs and steady paychecks, they would never be doing anything. They wouldn't travel, or they wouldn't go out to eat, or they wouldn't go to the movies, or they wouldn't buy things. And they always said they didn't have money. And yet I, who might not have had a job for a year or two, I was always going places and doing things and buying things. And people, how does Marilyn live? In fact, the 3 questions of the universe were, is there a God? What is the meaning of life? And how does Marilyn live? So I decided I would reveal my secrets and write the book. And so the book tells not only how I did it, but how you can do it too. And it has, stories of how I did things, but it also tells people how to save money and in some cases make money doing really great things. I don't talk about like clipping coupons at the grocery store. That's not what this is. But when there isn't a pandemic, I talk about going to see shows that might cost $200 for $25, or how to get a trip to Spain at a 4-star resort for 6 nights for free. So all kinds of things. How to wear a $2,000 dress for $50. How to, do all kinds of things. And now that there's a pandemic, I'm telling people how they can live like a millionaire even when they're stuck at home.
You have my attention. How to go to a resort for free. We love taking vacations. You know what's great about being a speaker is that my family can come with me. And I look I'm like we looked this year. I'm like, all right, well, we're probably not going to have too many events. There's probably not a whole lot of live events, going on. I said, but maybe, I don't know, but maybe there's like a business, because I do a lot of business here. Like I go in, I do half-day seminars. And I'm like, maybe there's like a business that's hiring for that. I mean, a lot of it's virtual. I mean, pretty much everything is virtual. And so I we sit down and was like, well, where do we want to go this year? What states do we want to go to? And they said, I'd love to go to wherever, whatever. And it's like, well, we've never been to South Carolina. I mean, my sister and my brother-in-law live in South Carolina. But we're like, man, where do we want to go? I'm like, just go to Myrtle Beach. It's like 3 hours away. Let's go to Myrtle Beach. So we went and drove down to Myrtle Beach from North Carolina. I applied for a couple events. I saw that they were looking for speakers. I'm like, hey, I'd love to speak at your event. And, I could offer this. And then they said, yeah, let's do it. So I got booked to speak in Myrtle Beach twice. And we just had a blast. A blast. We had so much fun. And really, I mean, sometimes they will pay you X amount of dollars and you're on your own. Or in one case, they paid for my hotel. So I didn't have to pay for a hotel. And so really all I had to pay for was gas, food, and whatever we spend money on going to putt-putt or dinner, whatever. But we went to Myrtle Beach in 2019. Went to Myrtle Beach twice, once in September and then once in October. And then we've gone to Florida. We've gone to Atlanta. The kids have gone everywhere. And they're like, Dad, where are you going to speak at? We're going to speak at. Like, they don't care that I'm speaking. They care that they get to come somewhere.
Of course, yeah. Well, and there's ways, for people, some people like you have great speeches and stuff, and I'm a writer, and I was a travel writer, so I got to go to a lot of places. But sometimes there's other things, other creative things that people do that they don't realize can get them free trips. For instance, I had a girlfriend who was a handwriting analyst, and she would go to a spa once every month where they would host her for the weekend, and she would do, handwriting analysis for people. Or someone else might be able to teach pottery and trade, doing some classes for pottery for going to a place where they'll give you accommodations and massages and whatever for free. And now, actually, that we're all at home, I tell people they can actually take virtual tours almost all over the world. You can go see the 7 wonders of the world online. You can look at places that you want to go later. or you can look at places you might never go to. And what I say is pick a place like Italy or France. You know, they have all kinds of tours, virtual tours of the Louvre or of Rijksmuseum or of the Guggenheim or of museums in New Zealand and Mexico and all over the world. So, or all the different tourist attractions. So pick a weekend or a day during the weekend and say you want to go to Italy, and then make Italian food for during the day and pretend you're going to Italy and sit in front of your computer or your TV and take a virtual tour. And if you're going like through the Louvre, they have docent tours that you get really up close to all the pictures and hear all the backgrounds of it. Or if you're going to a small location in Italy, they'll tell you all about it, and you can do it right from your computer, and you don't have to like wait in the plane lines or schlep for 15 hours and be tired or fight with people on the bus. You know, you can do it just from your own living room.
Right.
Another thing you can do, which
cool.
I love now, is I love Broadway theater. And when things open up, you know, I'll go to New York for a week, like every year, and go to like 8 shows in 1 week. But of course, now all the shows are turned down. Everything theater-wise is closed down, and that includes New York. It includes everywhere. But you can actually see Broadway shows right from your living room. Again, if you go to YouTube, there's about 100 different Broadway shows, from Aladdin, Moulin Rouge, Frozen the Musical, Matilda, Rent, and it's the Broadway shows. So your kids, you can, and if you sign into Disney Plus for a month, you can see Hamilton up close and personal, like you're in the front row. Instead of it costing $200 or $800, it'll cost $8.99 for the month's membership. So there are many things you can do now that either weren't available before or you didn't think about before to get entertainment for you and your whole family that will cost you $0.
Right. That's amazing. Wow.
Another thing I want to tell everybody, this is an assignment that I give everybody who listens, because a lot of people have money that they don't even know about. And a friend of mine, I'll tell you, I told him to sign into this particular website and that he had money waiting for him. And he didn't believe me. And I said, you just have to put your name and the city in which you lived. And he kept fighting me, and we filled out the forms. And then he got a letter from Texas saying, we were sending you a check. And he didn't believe it. And he ended up getting a check for $12,000. And all he had to do was go to this website. And what it is Unclaimed Property. And everybody should go to the website missingmoney.com. And it has most states in the U.S. But if it doesn't have your state, then you go to your state's website and just put in the search bar Unclaimed Property. And then put your name and the city in which you live. And I bet 9 out of 10 people who are listening around the U.S. at least have money that they didn't know they had that is just sitting there. And they should look not just for themselves. They should look for their parents, for their grandparents. They should look if they've moved from one city to another. Look in every city or state in which you lived. The first time I looked, I found $450. Then about a month later, I saw it says I have money again. Well, then I had 22 cents. But you might have $10, you might have $100, you might have $100,000. But everybody, like I said, from the States at least, should look it up, because it's money that's just sitting there and waiting for you. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. You just go to missingmoney.com or to your state website, and a lot of people have money, and there are billions of dollars just sitting there waiting to be claimed.
Where does it come from?
It comes from different places. It can be old bank accounts that ran out. It can be stocks. It can be like if you had an insurance policy, or even if you had utilities somewhere, like you paid electric bills or water bills or that kind of heating bills. And they give it back to you, and they don't know where to give it. So then it goes to the state. And it not only goes to the state, but then it accrues interest until somebody picks it up. So it comes from all different kinds of places that if they can't find you, like within a year, it goes to the state and it just sits there. And literally, I mean, some people have gotten like $200,000 that they didn't know they had. And
What?
it might not even be from them. It could be from their grandparents or their great-grandparents. And if you can prove that you're a descendant, then you can pick up money that your ancestors had that they didn't know about and that you didn't know about, but that is just sitting and waiting for you.
Wow. I did not know that.
Well, you should go
kidding.
do it when we finish the show.
Yeah.
And if people find money, I'm happy they can go then and buy my books or watch my movies.
Oh, we definitely got to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Wow. I had no idea.
Well,
So
go to
I'm definitely going to check that
givingmoney.com. I don't
out.
know if your state is in it, but if not, then go to your state website.
Perfect.
And it's called Unclaimed Property.
Wow.
And it doesn't cost anything.
I'm definitely going to do that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. Yep, that's on my list to do. So
Great.
So thank you for what you've shared. That is tremendous amount of value, and I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look to see if my wife or my mom or – because I know when I was a kid, we moved around. I mean, I've lived in 11 different houses and attended 8 different schools.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Well, then you should
like,
definitely look for your parents. Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to look for my mom or my grandparents. I mean, I can look up I can look up my grandmother.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, so my mother's maiden name, my grandparents' side, is Grzelakowski. I don't know how many of those are floating around, but probably not a whole lot. You know?
Well, just I'd love
to
hear if you find something, because it would make me feel good to know that you've gotten out of this. That would be wonderful. So promise you'll let me know if you find money.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
yeah.
Definitely, we're going to do this.
Yeah, because I so enjoy helping other people, and helping them either save money or make money or enjoy their life more. And that's what How to Live Like a Millionaire When You're a Million Short. It's about those 3 things: saving money, making money, and enjoying life more. Right.
That makes sense. Absolutely. So as we start to close the show, I just want to quickly touch on the Never Kiss a Frog book. What prompted that?
Well, actually, that was the first book that I wrote, and it's out in 10 countries, and I'm going to be coming out with a new updated version this year. But Never Kiss a Frog, A Girl's Guide to Creatures from the Dating Swamp, and tells women how to avoid men who are frogs, because they won't turn into princes no matter how many times women have grown up on these myths. Kiss a frog and he'll turn into a prince, or you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince. And I'm saying that's not true. So the book is a collection of stories, and I have wart warnings and ribbit snippets and illustrations. For instance, I have Count Frogula, and he's got fangs and a cape, and the wart warning is, any guy who drains the life out of you sucks, Or the God Frogger is, if he's a wise guy, be a wise gal. Forget about it.
Oh, wow. Hey, so just to update you, I typed in my wife's maiden name in Utah, and she has money waiting for her from a job she had when she was 18.
See that?
See, and it says under $100. That's what it says.
All right.
And it says, congratulations, you appear that you have an asset to claim. And then I pressed on the claim button, and then it said, go to this website and fill out a claim inquiry. And it's a business that she used to work for when she was
amazing.
18, 19 years old. And then it must be a last paycheck or something, but it says under $100. It tells you the amount. It says under 100. I don't know the exact amount, but I thought that was pretty. I was like, what? Like, that's super cool. What sucks about me is that as soon as I put in Sean Douglas, like like 300 things came up, so I'm gonna have to look for like exact city and state. But
Right.
Sean Douglas SEO sucks for me because Michael Keaton's son, his name is Sean Douglas, and I didn't realize
Yeah, because
this.
Michael Keaton's real name is Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. And his name is Michael Keaton Douglas. And there was already a Michael Douglas, right? The famous Michael Douglas.
Right.
Already in show business, so he decided to use his first and middle. So Michael Keaton is actually Michael Keaton Douglas. And so Sean Douglas is a singer, songwriter, and actor, and I'm screwed. So I always have to try to like figure out creative ways to like get my name out there. And I'm just now, the past couple of years, starting to hit, the first page of Google. It's Sean Douglas. It's like all that guy and Michael Keaton and all that. But I'm starting to show up on the first page, so I'm pretty happy. I got a big rival.
Right.
So thank you for that. I don't know what we're going to get, but, thank you for that. And I'll share it with my mom and, see what she's got. So, but love your creativity, the way your mind works. You've had an amazing career. I remember watching Murphy Brown, love the Friday the 13th. There's a lot of history that you have that I think is just super cool for you. So well done. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, and I have new things coming out. I have a new play coming out. I have 2 new movies that are supposed to go into production next year. So we'll see what happens when the pandemic is over.
Right. Absolutely. If someone wants to find your books on Amazon, do they just search for on Amazon How to Live Like a Millionaire When You're a Million Short? Never Kiss a Frog? Is
yes.
That what
Well, Never
for?
Kiss a Frog right now, because I'm coming out with a new version. I actually have it on eBay. If they want to get a signed version of that, they should go to eBay and look for it for the collector's version, and I can send them a personalized version of Never Kiss a Frog. For How to Live Like a Millionaire When You're a Million Short, it is on Amazon, and you can just go to howtolivelikeamillionaire.us, and that'll take you to the Amazon link. Or howtolivelikeamillionaire.com will take you to either one also. Howtolivelikeamillionaire.com.
Awesome. And what's a message that you want to leave the listeners if they listen to nothing else that we've talked about and they really fully tune in this moment? What can we tell the listeners?
Well, you tell the listeners, never kiss a frog. And also live like a millionaire, even if you're a million short. Live your life to the fullest. Have fun. Enjoy every moment. And if you can, save some money or make some money along the way, and you can learn how to live like a millionaire when you're a million short. But it's all about really enjoying your life and making the most of your time with fun and enjoyment.
Love it. And by the way, just to update you one more time, you go to claim that, you go to the website, to another website that it takes you to, you hit claim again, claim it relationship, of course, herself, and it shows the amount, and she's going to get $30.47.
Ah. Well, that's
there you go.
Good. Oh, they told you already the
anticipated.
amount. Cool.
Right, yeah, it tells you the amount.
And you went to missingmoney.com? Is that where you found it, on missingmoney.com?
Yep. And then each state has its own website that it takes you to that you search on. You basically redo the search because it goes to that, like, Unclaimed Property Division of Utah is where it went. And then you search for your name. Boom, it came up. Claim
free money, right? And then she can go out and buy herself something with that when she gets it.
Now she can go buy herself something. Yeah, absolutely. So then you got to go file a claim, and then so that is super cool. Oh my God, somebody needs to do. Hey, everybody needs to email me or email her. Her email's on her website. You need to email us, Sean at thesuccesscourse.com. I want to know, like, did this work? You don't have to tell me the dollar amount. I don't care about the dollar. Like, go to the missingmoney.com. See if you got money missing, claim it. See if you get, like, I'd love to hear stories about this, and then we'll just update you.
right?
I think that'd be super cool.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd be really, like I said, I love sharing useful information that can save people money, or make them happy. Those kinds of things. So try me at howtolivelikeamillionaire.com.
There you go. Marilyn, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was absolutely amazing. Super cool, super fun episode. And I wish you the best in 2021.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
Life Transformation Radio listeners, an amazing guest impacting the world around her. If any part of our conversation today with Marilyn Anderson resonated with you, please reach out. Click on the links in the show notes to her Facebook profile, page, LinkedIn, and to her website. Buy her book, How to Live Like a Millionaire When You're a Million Short, and go check out what she has to offer on her website. And go to missingmoney.com and go find some missing money. You never know what you're going to find. With that, I close the show by saying live your brand. Find opportunities every day to live out the core values that you hold deep in your heart. And I call this living your brand. So until next episode, live an amazing life.